couple questions. And guys, if you can see these on the screen here, basically it says, does any one of the guys have an opinion on the Hall of Fame snubbing of our players and the franchise? Not just Kenny Anderson, but Ken Riley, Isaac Curtis, Anthony's obviously already in, but Willie Anderson, Corey Dillon, Max Montoya, all these guys that should be in the Hall of Fame. What's your guys' take on that?
Well, the one that makes me craziest is Kenny.
Yep.
Because how many passing titles did you win? 4, something like that? 4, and gets us to the Super Bowl. And honestly, I had a fumble in the Super Bowl. We were so bad in the first half of the Super Bowl. If I ever had anything in my lifetime that I cannot stand to think about, it's the first half of that Super Bowl in Pontiac. Literally have never watched the game. I had a catch and fumbled the ball on the 5-yard line. I think we had 3 turnovers total in the first game. But Kenny Anderson was unbelievable. He had a fantastic game. The reason we didn't win was because mistakes of other people, not him. And he should have been in the most. If we win that Super Bowl, it's not even close. He's in the game, and so I'm all for quarterbacks have to win championships. But I think you have to look at it closer. You have to say, did he play championship level football? And throughout the course of that season, after the opener and the playoffs, including the Freeze Bowl game, he was just always the difference. And so it literally makes me insane that when somebody tries to explain to me why he's not in there, I almost jump down their throat.
Yeah.
They almost have to contain me a little bit when they do that. So out of everything, thinking of that Super Bowl, it's almost hard for me to think of the 81 season because I know I have to think about the first half of that Super Bowl.
You mentioned, Chris, Kenny had 4 passing titles. He had back-to-back passing titles in 2 different decades. Back-to-back passing titles, 74 and 75, and then he also 81 and 82. Now, how many quarterbacks in the Hall of Fame had back-to-back passing titles in 2 different decades? Come on, man.
Hey, Lap, to your point, Lap, and I constantly am talking to the senior selectors. To your point, one day I took on a whiteboard in my office in our building, and I wrote, there was 5 lines of statistics, 5 different quarterbacks, and one of my former employees, big Bengals fan, I didn't put any names by those statistics. I said, which one of these 5 lines of stats is not in the Hall of Fame? And the one line of stats that outdid all the other 4s, not only by a little bit, but for a lot. Blew them away. The other 4 guys are in the Hall, and Kenny's not in the Hall. That to me is just right. It's not right. It's not right.
Well, see, I think the big problem is the young announcers, and they look at Super Bowl wins, what qualify you for the Hall of Fame. Well, Hall of Fame should be an individual. Super Bowls is team. Those 5 and 6 guys that never touched the field in the Super Bowl, and they got 4 and 5 Super Bowl rings. So you're judging it the wrong way. It should be the individual performance.
Yeah, Pete, here's what's interesting. So we had David Baker from the Hall of Fame, president, CEO of the Hall of Fame, on the show last week. And so we were kind of grilling him a little bit. So here's what we told him. It's interesting that you see good players on Super Bowl winners that are in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
You don't see great players that didn't win a Super Bowl in the Hall of Fame. And it's not right. It's a popularity contest, and it's frustrating as hell for the fans, for sure.
Well, you know why? I'm going to interject here. You know why we were good? Is because we had teammates like this that stood up for everybody, had everybody's back.
Yep.
And I tell you what, I had the greatest teammates in the world.
That's good stuff.
So did I, Kenny.